I will admit that I'm not much of a traveler, but progressive rock has allowed me to know the world a little better. Let's take another trip with 5 more prog bands, 5 more countries. If you haven't watched my first 5 prog bands, 5 countries video, then please do so. Or not, I'm not going to tell you what to do. At least watch the disclaimer. Alright, let's go. Belgian band Machiavel was named after Italian philosopher Niccolò Machiavelli, whose treatise The Prince is the blueprint for modern politics. Not always in a good way. Anyway, Machiavel released 3 very worthy prog albums. Their self-titled debut was released in 1976, but it was their second and third albums in which they hit their symphonic stride. 1976's Jester and 1977's Mechanical Moonbeams saw the band's success really flourish with 2 well-selling albums. Keyboards and harmonies really stand out. Unfortunately, the band showed up a little late to the party and tried to evolve with the times and never quite reached the same level as their classic prog period. But they left us with 2 very memorable albums. Machiavel continued to play on and off throughout the decades. Swedish band Samlas Mamas Mania is certainly an acquired taste. Apparently it is Swedish for collect your mama's mana, at least according to Google Translate. Is that even right? Releasing 4 albums from 1971 to 1976, this band dabbled in everything from progressive rock, avant-garde to jazz, and folk. They even paid homage to circus music. The keyboards are excellently played and certainly the central focus of the music. There are times when the vocals sound like a chorus of cats, which showed a very nonsensical side of the band. The band would reform in 1977 and replace the S's with Z's. This band is worth dipping your toe into at first. Overall, they are very well reviewed, so give Samlas Mamas Mania a chance. The late 60s saw the beginnings of French-Canadian prog group Morse Code. 1971 and 1972 saw their first 2 albums released under the name Morse Code Transmission. Both albums were more oriented in psychedelia and sung in English. By 1975, they dropped the transmission part of their name and their English vocals, opting to sing in French. La Marche des Hommes, or The March of the Men, was Morse Code's first real progressive rock album. 2 more albums would follow in the 70s, all 3 offering up fantastic keyboard-driven symphonic rock. Unfortunately, their Soul 80s album, which featured mostly commercial pop, would be again sung in English with very little success. I do highly recommend Morse Code 70s output. Just to be clear, this isn't the Billy Joel Attila where he is dressed as a Hun surrounded by hanging torsos. This Attila is spelled with 1 less T and hails from Spain. Attila was formed in 1973 and consists of a typical 4-piece of guitar, keyboards, bass, and drums, focusing mostly on keyboards, such as organ and synths. 1975 saw their debut album, Beginning of the End, which is actually a live album sans the bass player. 2 studio albums, Intention and Revoir, were released in 1976 and 77. Overall, a satisfying prog outfit, with their second album most likely to please most prog listeners. The band dissolved by late 1978 and reunite in 1999 for live performances. Attila would finally release another studio album in 2024 with 2 original members. Better late than never, right? Am I right? Tai Phong doesn't sound like a French group. It was actually formed by 2 Vietnamese brothers, but it is still a French group. After some false starts because of contract disputes, Tai Fung would release their self-titled debut album in 1975, which contains the minor hit Sister Jane. It's not a great song. It sounds more like something my mother-in-law would listen to. 2 more albums would follow, Windows in 1976 and Last Flight in 1979. By 1980, Tai Fung was done, but they would reform in the 2000s for a few more releases. I can't say that Tai Fung was great, but they had their moments. I prefer Last Flight, which is actually not a well-received album. Jean-Jacques Goldman would go on to write hit songs for prog rocker Celine Dion. What? She's not prog.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not. Where do you think you're going? I pay you in lollipops.
I wanted a pension.
Sorry you had to see that. I think this is probably a good time to end the video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, she is.
But you gotta just hold the sign up in one place.
Yes, she is.
Keep saying it.
Yes, she is.
Say, yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Okay, you don't have to. Don't hold on. You're saying it too nicely. Say it quicker. Say, yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Say, yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
So you gotta hold it. Just hold the sign in one place. I wanted a pension.
I wanted a pension.
Say it again.
I wanted a pension. I wanted a pension.
Say it again.
I wanted a pension.
Say it meaner.
I wanted a pension. I wanted a pension.
No, you're not saying it. You're kind of trailing off. Say, I wanted a pension.
I wanted a pension.